Hello, welcome back. In this session I'm going to speak a little bit about present perfect. Now, present perfect is, I'm afraid, a problematic tense. A lot of people have problems with it. Hope that this explanation helps you to understand how it is used and when or why it is used. All right. Now, present perfect reflects or shows two different meanings. I start with the first one, which is the known one and is the easier one. Present perfect refers to something, an action that started in the past. It doesn't matter if it was a remote past or it was a near past, doesn't matter. It started in the past and continues up to now. Okay? For instance, let's say I came to Cologne, I moved to Cologne in, say, the year 2000, that was the beginning, and as you can see, it is now 2021, and I am still in Cologne, living in Cologne. Now, in order to show that I started here and I am still here, I can use present perfect. I can say, I have lived in Cologne. Now, I have two options here for my time. I can show the beginning, so I can say I have lived in Cologne since 2000, or I can use for and show the duration. So the duration is for, the beginning is since. So for 21 years. Okay? Now, in this meaning, I can also use past continuous, a present perfect continuous, meaning I have been living. The meaning is absolutely the same. The only difference is, delicate difference, is that present perfect continuous emphasizes on the continuity rather than this one. To understand it better, imagine you're waiting for your friend and that person is about an hour late. And when that person comes, says, "Oh, I'm sorry, were you here very early?" And you say, "Yes, I have been waiting here for an hour for you." Now here you're emphasizing that for complete hour, you were standing there waiting for that person, right? So it's just a little bit more emphasis. The meaning is exactly the same. So the first meaning of present perfect is basically more understandable and digestible for a lot of people. An action that started in the past, it doesn't matter if it was remote past or near to present past, doesn't matter at all, but just continues up to now. Look at this one. We are not speaking about the future. We don't know about the future, okay? So it's not about future, it's just now. The second meaning of present perfect, and this is where is related to simple past, and this is where I told you should remember the past, the meaning of simple past, okay? So I just get rid of this one completely. The second meaning of present perfect is this. Yeah, it looks familiar, doesn't it? It is like a simple past. The only difference between something that happened in the past and finished, using present perfect to show it, or a simple past, is that a simple past always has the time element. That's where I said you need to remember the time. Present perfect, either we don't know or we don't mention the time. Example. I have eaten. Now, immediately, if I say at 7 o'clock, at 12 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, then I have to say I ate. So the only difference between this one and I ate, so I have eaten breakfast, let's say, is time. Here, full stop. Here, at 8. Time element. I know that in many grammar books they talk about an action that was close to present and the effect is there and this and that you remember, whatever. They're all correct. I'm not saying they're wrong, they're absolutely not. They're all correct. But the easiest way to remember the basic difference between present perfect and simple past is the time business. So here I don't mention, I don't know the time. Time is not clear. In this one, time is clear, either in one sentence or in the context. Please remember that, because sometimes you have a simple past which is related to the context. Sentences are not alone, as we know. So you have a sense of time in your context. If you have a sense of time in your context, that you cannot use present perfect, you must use simple past. So, I can say, for instance, and that's why present perfect can be very handy in this way. I can say, for instance, I have visited Paris many times. Now, here, as you can see, I use many times, but I'm not specific when was the first one, when was the second one, and so on. As long as I keep it this way, I have to use present perfect. So I have visited Paris many times. As soon as I say, the last time I was in Paris, now I have the time and I have to say, I visited my friend who lives there, because I have the element of time. So, please remember the second meaning of present perfect can be tricky, but basically if you are a little bit more careful, it is understandable, okay? So words like already, for instance, that might refer to time, but they're not clear exactly around when the time was, can be considered as we don't have the time, and you can use them with present perfect. Okay? Thank you very much. In the next session, I will explain future tense. Thank you.